Hey guys. Okay, so I'm at I think the first or second Jesus Christ that came to help me. Somewhere in there. I couldn't really tell you. It was all a blur. But I know I was early with the soldiers and all that. So, this next experience, I gotta tell you a couple little things that happened. One's kind of funny, one's not. One is a lesson. So I go to my boss's house and I work there for 2 or 3 days, and that's where I met the two kids, Brett, and the girl, and that's how I got started with them. They're still around, plus my wife, and they're all talking la, 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 all the time, and I'm open to the spirit world, you know that. So the next thing that happened was, I'll do this one real quick. One of the experiences I had was, I'd be going to bed at night, 11, midnight, 1, and as I'm laying there, looking at the spirit world, all of a sudden I see this girl come walking out of a house every night, and she would walk, spirit. This girl would come out of the house, a ghost, a spirit, and she'd walk down the opposite side of the street naked, and she'd just walk and then go on her way every night. Not every night, but when I saw her, right? And finally, it's like the third time I said, what's with the girl? What's with the naked girl walking down the street? And they go, she's sleepwalking. And I go, what do you mean she's sleepwalking? And she goes, well, she's sleepwalking. What do you want? And I go, is she like astral traveling? And she's like, they're like, yeah. She leaves her body and she sleepwalks. The soul sleepwalks naked down the street. And I'm going, why is she naked? They go, we don't know why. And so I sort of laughed at that. That was kind of funny. And I couldn't figure out why. Why would you leave your body at night? And even the soul, when she leaves her body, the soul is still sleepwalking. And I'm like, why is she naked? Right? And it was, from what I could see in the daytime with her, the girl that lived there was a girl and a guy. And the guy was abusive as hell. And they were both alcoholics. Okay? Now, you can throw into that whatever you want. This is in real life. They were both alcoholics. The guy was abusive because they would scream and yell at each other all night. And out in the country, we were in the country, and you could hear them screaming and yelling up and down the neighborhood all night long. And he's smashing shit, or he start playing his he'd get drunk and play this god-awful music. It was like country, but worse. I don't know. And it would blast all night. I don't know how the neighbors dealt with it. But anyway, this is what happened. So this, like, the psychology going on in that place was pretty heavy. I don't think he ever beat her up, but he just like verbally abused her. Because I was going to call the cops, like, as soon as I saw him hit her. I was going to call the cops. I think, hey, whatever, I don't know. What do you do? But he never hit her. Like, I never heard her scream for help or anything. They just yelled at each other for a few hours while they were drunk. And then everything would stop. And he'd play his music, and then after that, everything would stop. But it was like till 4 o'clock in the morning, right? I don't know. But I thought that was pretty weird that as soon as this girl got drunk, fell asleep, her soul would jump out of the body and sleepwalk down the street naked. That was kind of interesting. It's not like I ran over there and looked or anything. I could see it. You can see it. There it is, right? I thought that was pretty odd. So, at the same time, at one point, I'm in Windsor, and I go to bed. And I'm laying there, and I'm talking to Christ. that's with me, helping me out. And he says, I'm going to give you a gift. I go, all right. And also he puts his hands on my back. He puts his hands in me, in my back. And I'm sleeping on my stomach, and I'm awake. And I have no energy, zero energy, because I'm pumping so much energy out of my head, healing my skins, but I didn't know it at the time. I'm just pumping all this energy out, and it's loud and it's screaming. He goes, I'm going to do something. He goes, I'm going to give you a gift. All you guys a gift. I'm like, cool. So, meaning me, Brett, me in the body, Brett's dead, the other girl's dead, and my wife. He's going to, I'll give you all a gift in my little group. And he reaches in my back, and all of a sudden I could feel like wood growing out of my shoulders, and it grew and grew and grew, and there are wings, angel wings. Christ gave me angel wings. I was never going to make this video. I didn't the last time, but this time I'm going to, because there's a lot of important stuff in it. And then everybody's like, ooh, ah, ah, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I could feel it, just like my arm. And I could move them. And it was in my shoulder blades. Like, it was weird, man. I could move them, stretch them, bend them, and all this stuff. And the feathers, I could look at it. It was all there. And then he gave everybody else angel wings. In my little group of spirits. My wife got angel wings, and the 2 kids got angel wings. So, we're walking around with angel wings. And I think the reason why he gave me angel wings was because I was doing good things. Like, I would be at work, and spirits would come up to me. Spirits would come up to me. I think it was a 2 case. There's 2 reasons why he gave me angel wings. I'd be at work out in the country. Spirits would come up to me, and I'd end up talking to them. And the first thing I'd say was, do you want to go to heaven, or do you want to go to heaven? And either they say yes, and I would bring Christ in me. I'd call Christ through me, and he'd come down. And then he would take over and talk to them and take them up into heaven, right? The bad ones that attacked me, as soon as they touched me, he grabbed them, because he was in me. So the energy, he grabbed them. And he couldn't do nothing until they touched me or assaulted me, right? And then as soon as they lashed out and hit me, the bad spirits, for whatever reason, he lashed onto them, and he grabbed them, and he took them up. He took them up, screaming and yelling. Okay, not into heaven, but a halfway point. And then he'd take them to his office. Like, I went there and took a look at it, and it was like I don't know, a processing place, like a prison. It was like a little prison, and they had cages, and he put the bad spirits in the cage. Spirit, literally people, and like a prison here on earth, and it'd be a prison in heaven, and there'd be police guards type things where he put this Christ put the bad people, and then he'd process them, and they'd go on to wherever. He'd let them go again, teach them the rules. He'd teach them, you can't fuck with people, sort of thing. He'd do all that. It's called processing them or something. And then you can't do this, you can't do that. You can do anything you want down there, but you can't do this. And he'd keep them there until they learn their lesson, and he'd let them go, and it would repeat over and over and over. Okay? Just pretty much like here on earth, and that's what happened. But the people that went to heaven and wanted to go to heaven, he would take them up into heaven, process them, and send them to where they went in heaven. And there's different levels in heaven. And there's more of that coming up later. I get to look at. So that's what they did, right? And so people will come up to me and they go, "Oh, beautiful angel wings!" And they come and they bring their kids and they bring their family. Look at the angel! Look at the angel! I guess angel wings were not abundant. Anyway, so I got all these people. I'm like, "Do you want to go to heaven?" Some say no, some say yes. And pretty soon, I'd go to Linda's, or I'd go to work, and there'd be, in no time, fucking 100 people, 100 dead people standing around looking at my damn wings, and the kids, and they're all talking and everything. Granted, it kept the bad people away, but all these people were asking me if I was Christ and if I was working. I said, well, no, he's just in me, and I do this, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they're all amazed also that I'm talking to them in the body, like I'm talking to them physically. So anyway, I ended up sending half of them to Christ. Christ would come down, pick them up, and when he picked them up, it was like a massive hug. It blew me away each time. And as soon as he hugged them and started taking them up, everybody, he'd start crying. He wouldn't cry, but the people would just start crying like innocent kids. And he'd take them up into heaven. And I'd be crying because that person's crying. And I was like flipping. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm going, is this real? Is this real? Like, I'm used to the dark stuff, right? Getting attacked and all that. And I know because it's such an impact. But the love part was so, it was, the good part is so light, right? And not normal for me. It's normal on a soul sense, but not normal for an ego sense, because when the ego gets attacked by a baddie, a bad demon or spirit, you really know it, because it's scary as fuck. But the lighter side of it, it's not scary, so it's like nothing. And you're catching yourself. And the only time I ever realized it was real is when Christ came down through me, hugged the person, and said, "Come on, my child, let's go." And then, as he rose up with the spirit, the wow love, and then he'd take him to heaven in the process, and then they come back down, and then I noticed the same people will come back to go to heaven, and I go, I just took you there, and I go, I don't want to go again, and I'm like, Jesus, come down, do it, take him back up. Right? And I asked Jesus, I just did this person. How come the same person comes back 3 days later? And he goes, they're addicted to love. When he goes, they are addicted to love. He goes, they are addicted to the transition from the physical lower astral to the transition into Christ consciousness and the love. And I'm going, what do you mean they're addicted? And he goes, do you know the feeling you get, the all-consuming, overpowering love that you feel when I'm taking them? I go, yeah. And he goes, well, they get addicted to that. So I take them into heaven, and the love is overpowering, and they curl up in my chest and cry like a baby. And it's a release of all their pain and all that, and they're being accepted into Christ in heaven. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I go, doesn't it last? When he goes, when you get to heaven, he goes, that's the initial thing, when the love, you become it, and then it just mellows out, and you don't feel it. It's not the overwhelming impact. He goes, people go to heaven, they'll stay there for however long, and they want that love feeling again. So they come down to earth in the lower astral, and they'll hang out there for a week. Then they'll find Christ again, and Christ will take them up into heaven, and they just get addicted to that the juice, the overpowering love of Christ, and they get addicted to that, and that's how they get their fix. And he goes, they're working their problems out by doing this. So I just keep doing it, and it's like, it's okay. It's the all-powerful thing, man. People love it. And people, that's how they learn their Christ. Just by doing it. Sometimes they'll spend fucking 50 years doing that. That's all they do. Because once you get to heaven, the overwhelming love and stuff goes away, and you're just like another person living on another level. But the initial transition from the lower astral into Christ consciousness explodes with love and compassion, and you just turn into a little baby and cry. And he goes, that's what they like. That's what they get addicted to it. And he goes, I just keep doing it. I'm like, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so he gives me these angel wings, and more people are coming around. And he's like, he's not in me all the time, but I'm talking to people, and they're following me around. I go to Windsor. I go back to Windsor, and they're following me there, and they're following me, and they're outside waiting for me to come outside. Like, they won't come in my apartment, but they're all standing outside waiting for me to come out in the day and look at my wings. And I'm like, really? Is this real? Is this really real? I'm questioning all this, but I'm fucking seeing it. I'm talking to them just like real life. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'm like, I can't believe I got angel wings, right? And I'm walking around these angel wings in the lower astral, and it keeps the bad things away, right? Because the bad things, the bad spirits already go, oh, I won't be doing anything with that, right? But all the good spirits and all the little kids and everything are all over me, all day, all night, and I hear them. And the freaks, the Christian freaks, they camping out on the fucking street. Literally, they're camping up there. That's weird, man. So anyway, all this goes by for like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, maybe more, where I have these wings, and it was cool. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, to have, it was just like I had an extra pair of arms, and I felt everything. And when he grew the wings, I could feel the roots coming into my neck muscles and into my bones. It was real, dude. It was so real. I felt everything in my body. And I could feel the muscles of the wings. It was like I grew extra bones. I grew extra muscle to move the wings. So I grew. In the spirit world, I had wings, man. It was an angel wings. And I'm like, why are you giving me angel wings? He goes, oh, you'll find out. And I go, do you do this? And he goes, yeah, I can do it. This is what I do. And I'm like, okay. And so finally, near the end of it, the angel wing episode, I had so many people around bugging the shit out of me. I was losing my mind. I couldn't even concentrate. They stand around me all night, all day, waiting for something. I don't know what to do, you know. You can't jerk off, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't piss, you can't talk about anything because everybody hears you. All the spirits hear you, and then you get to hear their comments and see them. It's fucked. It's really fucked. Then I'm like, Christ, I'm losing my fucking mind. You gotta get rid of these rings. I mean, I love this. I love them. They're pretty cool. And he goes, well, what are you saying? And I'm going, well, get rid of the goddamn wings. I can't take it anymore. And he's like, so have you learned your lesson? He goes, you ready to be Christ? Do you want to be Christ? Do you want to be an angel? And I go, maybe someday, but not today, not here on earth. And he goes, good, you learned the lesson, didn't you? And I'm going, what are you talking about? And he goes, now you're not going to be out there trying to save people. And now you're not going to be out there being Christ-like, right? And he goes, and I go, was all this real? Is this all this real? Or am I fucking got a tumor in my head and I'm losing my fucking mind? And he's like, it's all real. I go, all them people I sent to heaven were through you? And he goes, yep, it's all real. It's all real. And I'm like, God damn. I go, it seemed real. But I don't know, I could be hallucinating. I could have a tumor in my head. He's got no, he goes, no, you're seeing the spirit world. And I'm like, holy mackerel. Anyway, he then takes the wings away. And that's it. And he reaches in my back, absorbs it all up, and they're gone. And he goes, now, get back to normal life. Get back to you. Get back to what you're supposed to be doing. And he goes, now you know why I don't hang around down in the lower astral. Because you can't even do nothing. He goes, even I don't do that. They got to call me. And then I'll come down. But I won't go down. And I go, I get your point. And all these people are waiting to see this stuff like you're some big guru or something. And I'm like, I get it. Give me that, take away the wings. And he goes, now, you gotta heal, we gotta heal you, you gotta do your thing, heal you up, but quit. I go, it's automatic. I help people because it's automatic. And he goes, I know. But he goes, you leave that to Christ. Don't you do it. You leave it to me. Everything has its order here. Everything works the way it's supposed to work. But you come in and you automatically try helping people because it's in your nature. And it's not meant to be. You can do this the rest of your life, but you ain't gonna have a life. You understand? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I gave you the wings to show you how far it'll go. And now you get it. I just saved you a lot of time. Now you can heal. He goes, now you get it. And he goes, as long as you keep bringing attention to yourself, you're never gonna heal. And he goes, I just gave you all the attention you could possibly handle. And it overwhelmed you, and you saw you're going to have no life. You're never going to be you. You're never going to be alone, ever. Now, do you want to get back to normal and start healing? I'm like, yep. And that was it. That was my angel wings. And they took the angel wings away from all of us, and we're back to normal, boring people. 3 spirits and a boring guy. No angel wings. But it was really cool. And I was never going to tell a story, but, there's a lesson in it, and it's really important. So I could sit here and riddle off all the bad shit that happens to you. And it's real. But I got to put the good things that happened to me, too, right? So I'm going to try to put the good things in and the lessons that came with it. So that was a lesson and good things that came with it. And this was like the Christ I was working with. He was working the lower astral, but he was still above the lower astral. So it was weird, and I even questioned years, like 6 Christs later. I asked about this time with the soldiers and the angel wings and me taking people to Christ to go to heaven. And I asked the Christ now, I go, was that all real? Or was I just hallucinating, making crazy shit up in my head? Because it didn't seem real to me. It's like after the fact, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Was that fucking real? Was I just lost in a crazy? He goes, yeah. He goes, it was all real. It was all real. It's an illusion. It's the second illusion. You're manifesting as fast as you're thinking, but it's real. And I go, taking the people to heaven was real? And he goes, yeah, you talk to dead spirits, and you ask them if they want to go to heaven. Well, Christ came through you and took them to heaven. How the fuck do you think you get to heaven when you die? I'm like, oh. He goes, it's the same thing. He goes, it's just the same process. You're just seeing it for the first time. I'm like, holy shit. Because I thought I was going nuts. It's like a fucking TV program with emotion, involvement, and swearing and cursing and everything, drama. It was all real. And he says you were seeing it. And he goes, it's all illusion. It's an illusion here, and it's an illusion there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're freaking me out, man. I can't, there's the ego world, and then you shift, and you're in the spirit world. But at the time, I was more in the spirit world than I was in the ego world. I could barely figure out the two of them. And then he's hitting me with all this illusion. I'm like, get out of here. I'm done. I mean, I can't figure this out. And he goes, no. He goes, you're figuring it out. You just don't get it yet. You ain't got it wrapped up in your head how it works. I'm going, all right. Because, yeah, it was all real. Everything you experienced was real. To real spirits, taking them to heaven. I go with the angel wings. They're real. He goes, yeah, we do it all the time. We'll send people down there specifically for certain reasons with angel wings just to do stuff for specific reasons. And he goes, earning your wings, you don't gotta have wings. It's just like a metaphor. He goes, you can take them on or put them off. It doesn't matter. But usually when people come down, they want to represent and make it known that for reasons for humans to see angels. I'm like, wow. And he goes, but for you needed to learn a lesson. All right, and that was your lesson to learn. So that was a pretty good thing that happened with Christ and the angel wings and everything. All right, so I gotta get on with the next video.